Have you ever gotten into an interview and when it's time for you to ask questions, you just go blank? Or worst of all, you don't have any question to ask? So this is going to be our topic for today. And so just so you know, this is actually tailored to Scrum Masters and Agile coaches. However, for all job seekers out there, please never go into an interview without having some questions that you're going to ask your potential employers. So one thing for you to reflect on is it sends a negative message to your potential employers or interviewers once you're given the opportunity to ask questions and you have no question. Okay, so it's definitely a red flag. So we are going to be sharing some of the questions that we've used in the past to ask our potential employers during interviews as Scrum Masters or Agile coaches. So one of the questions that I have used in the past or that I use during my interviews, I really focus around the teams because I want to know more. I'm curious to learn more about the teams that I'll be working with. So one of the questions I ask is, what is the team dynamic? That is the first question I ask. And when I ask this question, I want to know how many team members are part of the team. I want to know what are the accountabilities, what are the different roles that they play within the team. So the next question that I ask is, what is the organizational and team expectation of me if I'm being hired for this role? So another question that I have used in the past is, what are the pain points of the teams on a daily basis? And what are they trying to solve? So what are they going through? What are their issues? What are the challenges that they face? And what are they actually trying to solve? So another question that I ask is, so I'm just going to go randomly. I'm not going to go in order. So another question that I ask is, does the organization have a community of practice in place for each and every one to learn? So that is another question that I ask. Then as far as transformation is concerned, I ask questions like, has the organization been transitioned? Has the different teams been transitioned into Agile? If it's a yes, I'm curious to learn more about that, or I am very interested to know more. Then I also ask questions like, during their transformation or during the implementation of Agile, is it something like, what is one success that they can share about a team that has been so successful in this particular environment in implementing Agile? Then the next question I ask is around customers, around the customers. What is one way they measure customer satisfaction? I am someone that is very customer centric. I always want to ensure that the customers are getting the best. And for me to be able to fully get this or agree that yes, they are getting the best, besides sprint reviews and all whatnot. So there's a way to, kind of track how satisfied the customers are. So I'm curious to know how they track their customers' satisfaction, or how they know that the customers are actually satisfied. So another question that I ask is, what channel do they use to communicate? What medium do they use to communicate? What kind of tool do they use in managing their work? Is it Azure DevOps? Is it Jira Alliance? Which one? I am curious to know that as well. So another question that I have asked in the past is it a safe environment? And if it's a yes, okay, do they have a release train engineer? Do they have, how often is their cadence when it comes to PI? How often is their release? How often is their sprint for Scrum environment, for a team that does Scrum? So how often is their sprint? Sprint is between 1 to 4 weeks. So I'm curious to know, is it 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Then the next question I ask is, what are they operating on? What is the organization operating on? Are they operating onshore? Are they operating offshore? Then I am also curious to know, how many teams will I be supporting once I join the organization? Every organization is different. So I just want to know because I am curious. So another question that I ask is, why did the organization transition to Agile in the first place? if it's an organization that has transitioned. Based on the questions I will be asking, this is how the other questions are definitely going to flow. So if it's an organization that has transitioned, why did they transition in the first place? What is their goal? What are they hoping? Where are they hoping to get to? So these are just some of the few questions that we have used or that I have used in my interviews to ask interviewers. And again, there are several questions that you can ask interviewers. Just make sure you don't go into an interview empty-handed with no question to ask them. So again, it's a red flag on you, and you don't want that, because you might be wondering, hey, I went for this interview and everything went so great, everything was awesome, but I have been waiting for some weeks now, or maybe I've been waiting for some days. They said they were going to reach out to me and no one has reached out to me. I don't know what is going on. Everything went so well. Yes, everything went so well, but one thing you fail to understand is when it was time for you to ask question, you said there was no question for you to ask. Like I said initially, employers like when the candidates are curious. They love people that are inquisitive. Ask as many questions as you have based on the time that you have. So these are some of the questions that we've used in the past in some of our interviews. If it's something that is going to be useful to you, please go ahead and use it, and use the comment section to share your own experience on some of the questions that you've used in the past. And again, like I said, there's so many questions out there. This content alone might not be, we are not just going to be able to reveal everything to you, but these are just some of the questions that you can ask your potential employers once you're given that opportunity. Hey, before we leave, we want to take a moment to give a big shout out to our returning viewers and subscribers. You've been amazing. We know you've been amazing. So we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so very much for being very supportive. Please continue to do what you've been doing by liking, sharing, and commenting. And if this is your first time, hey, you are welcome. This is an agile platform where we discuss everything agile. So it's a platform for us to learn from each other. I am still learning. We are still learning as the days goes by. So please continue to, just support us by subscribing, like, share, comment, and don't forget to activate the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new content, you will not miss out on it. And if you're looking for a one-on-one coaching and mentorship, hey, reach out to us at diademofagilitywithg, and you will not regret it. Thank you all so very much for watching, and stay tuned for our next content. Bye-bye.